Knowing what you know now, which wolf would your athlete follow? The good wolf or the bad wolf during their performance or their game? Now, hello parents, let's talk about unleashing the wolf from within for your athlete in sports. And what do we mean by unleashing the wolf? Now, many believe that unleashing the wolf is related to mental toughness. Now, I can go along with that. However, I don't like to focus on the word toughness, but rather the word resilient. See, toughness to me has a physical component behind it of kind of being like strong. However, if an athlete doesn't feel strong, then they will struggle with the term mental toughness. Resilient, on the other hand, means to be able to bounce back or recover in a tough situations. Now, all athletes can feel that they can become resilient, but not all athletes feel they are tough. Now, in order for athletes to become mentally resilient, they first have to develop that mindset of what it means to be mentally resilient. Now, athletes tend to focus a lot on the skill development that focuses on the physical component of their sport. However, we have to understand that it is the mind that controls the rest of the body. Now, this is my belief on developing mental resilience, and it's really based on this one simple statement. And the statement goes like this: developing an elite athletic mindset is the most effective training tool for athletes if they want to reach their full athletic potential. Now, would you agree or disagree with that statement? So when we talk about athletes trying to use their full potential, we have to understand that we have to bring in the mental side of athletics and just not focus on the physical side of sports. And I do this through teaching them the story of the two wolves. Now, in the story of the two wolves, it's a simple story where an Indian grandfather is speaking with his grandson. And he explains to his grandson that there is an internal battle that we all battle each and every day. And that it's one's a good wolf and one's a bad wolf. And he kind of explains the difference between the two different wolves that we battle with ourselves. And at the end of the story, the grandson asks his grandfather, well, which wolf wins? And the grandfather just simply responds, it's the one that you feed. So when I teach athletes about the mental game, I use that analogy to explain to them the difference between competing as a good wolf or competing as a bad wolf. Now, athletes battle the same two wolves in their competition and in their performance. So the question now becomes, parents, which wolf does your athlete compete as? So first, let's compare and contrast a good wolf and a bad wolf and see what we have. So here are my 7 characteristics of a good wolf and 7 characteristics of the bad wolf. Now, number 1, a good wolf athlete never shows weakness, while the bad wolf wears his emotions on his sleeves. How does your athlete react to mistakes? Are they able to let it go? Or do they get emotional and affects the rest of their game? Think about that. Number 2, the good wolf is confident in their abilities to perform, while the bad wolf struggles to find their confidence. See, confidence is an internal belief, and athletes that have a strong internal belief about themselves excel and enjoy sports. Now, these are your good wolf athletes, compared to the bad wolf athletes that are looking for external ways to build up their confidence. These are the athletes that need words of encouragement from their parents or their coaches to help boost up their confidence. And number 3, the good wolf athlete is an athlete that has good habits and routines before their performance, while the bad wolf athlete is unstructured before their performance. Now, I explain to athletes that routines are very, very important. And I talk to athletes about the importance of setting routines because it sets our mind and our body to get ready to go out there and compete, rather than just going out there and trying to wing it and showing up. Now, before we get to the last 4 characteristics, if you like what you're hearing and you're learning something new about sports performance, then please like and subscribe to my channel to stay updated on videos where I'll be sharing tips and strategies about sports performance and the mental game to help your athlete reach their goals. Now, if you're a coach, please send these videos to your parents to help them have an insight into the mental game of sports, because many parents don't understand this part of athletic performance. So let's get back to the list. Okay? So now we're up to number 4. The good wolf athlete is able to focus on the process to become better, while the bad wolf focuses on the outcome. Now in sports, we have to understand that we cannot control the outcome. Athletes cannot control the outcome in sports, but rather they can control their process. Now the process are the things that they need to do in order to get the desired outcome that they want to achieve. So let's take for an example, an athlete has a goal of, say, trying to get 20 points in a basketball game. What are the things that they have to do in order to achieve that goal of getting 20 points? So they might have to be able to get good shots off in the game. They have to play aggressive. They have to drive the lane. Okay? This is work in the process of the game. Okay? If the athlete does not focus on their process, then trying to score that 20 points might not happen. So number 5. The good wolf athlete will rise to the face of adversity, while the bad wolf will kind of avoid adversity when it shows up. How does your athlete react when the game intensifies? Does your athlete want the ball in their hands? Does your athlete want to be that hitter to help the team win? Does your athlete want to take that penalty shot? See, in tough situation, what does your athlete do? Does your athlete struggle with anxiety? If they're suffering with anxiety, this is a sign of your athlete struggling with the bad wolf. So now it takes us to number 6. The good wolf athlete is comfortable in uncomfortable situations, while the bad wolf is uncomfortable in uncomfortable situations. Now, are your athletes going to step up to the occasion, or are they going to kind of crawl into a shell? Now, I kind of see this a lot of times in sports where an athlete looks great in practice, but during a game they struggle. Now, this has nothing to do with the physical skills. This is a mental block that is holding these athletes from performing their best, and it affects their game and it decreases their confidence. Does your child have an issue with that, where they perform so well in practice, but they struggle in a game? Now, that takes us to tip number 7. Okay? A good wolf athlete will focus on what they can control, while the bad wolf athlete focuses on what they cannot control. Now, when it comes to the mental side, this is probably the most important concept that I teach athletes. It's understanding what is in their control versus what is not in their control. And the athletes that learn how to focus on the controllables and neglect the uncontrollables really step up their game in sports. So there you have it. There are my 7 characteristics of the good wolf athlete and the bad wolf athlete. Now take a moment and answer this simple question. Knowing what you know now, which wolf does your athlete follow? The good wolf or the bad wolf during their performance or their game? Now, if your athlete is showing signs of the bad wolf, then let's teach them the skills that will transform them into the good wolf, so they can dominate in their performance and develop that internal confidence. Now, to test your athlete's mental game, please download my mental game assessment tool in the link that is listed below in the description. And while you're there, also check out the link for my course, which is called The Resilient Athlete, where your athlete will learn the skills and strategies on how to develop the traits of the good wolf. Now, if you have any questions, please email me and I'll return your message. And my email is also listed below as well. So thank you for your time, thank you for watching, and I look forward to connecting with you in a future video.